The Alpha Sessions.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Alpha Sessions. And today we have Dea Doyle.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming in. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay actually. We've been listening to your wonderful playing all morning and I'm very excited to have a chat with you. So this is your first radio session. How do you feel so far?
It's been really nice. You guys made me feel super comfortable, so thanks.
Oh, well, that's what we like to hear. We like to represent. So you're born and raised London, West London.
Southwest London, yeah.
Is your musical family part of your beginnings in music, or tell me about how music started for you?
So my dad's a musician, and my mum she listens to music more than he does, so she's far more of like a music lover than him. But yeah, no, there was always music in the house. Like on a Sunday afternoon, my dad would sit me down and show me a few chords on the guitar, and then that kind of evolved into writing songs, and they were rubbish. I used to have this like song that was just like G and E minor, and it was like maybe baby, something brutal. But I thought I was brilliant at like age 9, so kind of that's how that all started. And I had classical piano lessons, which I despised, like absolutely despised them. When I was meant to be practicing, I used to like find the song on YouTube on my laptop that I was meant to be learning, and someone playing it, and I just play it out loud, and I'd just be on my phone. My mum next door would think I was practicing. That's so naughty.
But she thought you were a virtuoso
piano
player.
Yeah, no idea.
Wow.
So yeah.
What was wrong with classical piano?
I don't know.
Just didn't hit the spot at the time?
No, like when I do like pop covers and things in like my spare time, loved that. But I have to be grateful because it did teach me a lot.
Yeah, these are the things that shape us. Like the first songs we write. Is that the first one you remember writing, the G and E minor?
Yeah.
And did you always write, or was this sort of like in the bedroom writing about imaginary boyfriends?
Yes, always been about love. Never had from like 9 to 18 before I ever had my first proper boyfriend. They were always love songs.
Well, it's an instinct.
Yeah,
it's an instinct. But it's also pop music in the noughties, which I imagine is what you grew up listening to. A lot of noughties pop, or is it not? Do your roots go back into the 70s and 80s?
Yeah,
90s?
like my parents listened to a lot of like. My mum loves Bowie and Prince and all the obvious stuff. But my dad loves like soul and like Luther and Marvin Gaye. And he's a bass player, so I feel like bass players are inclined to like that stuff. But yeah, so it's been very mixed. But I know I remember one of my early memories of singing was I was in Gap in Uxbridge. Well, I don't remember this. My mum actually tells me. And do you remember Nelly and Kelly Dilemma?
Oh, it's one of my favourites.
It's such a tune. And I stood in the middle of the shop, I was about 3, and just sang like, I love you, and then the shop assistants were like, oh, ain't she so cute?
I wish you caught that moment on film, because then in the years to come, when you're out there, somebody will dig that out, and it'll be like your first shining moment.
Yeah, with my little glasses and my bunt shoes, looking rough.
So since then, I mean, things have changed a lot. Obviously, you're not now standing in Gap in Uxbridge singing Nelly and Kelly, but you have released 3 singles.
I have, yes.
One of which was not very long ago, April.
Yes, April. Yeah.
And you did play that for us today, so we'll hear that. But I want to go back to your first release. What was the first single you released?
New Lover. So that's like a very pop.
Back in 2021.
2020? Was it 20?
21.
No, 2021. It was 2021. Yeah, no, my friend... It was during lockdown, and I just left uni because we missed the last 3 months because of going into lockdown. And my best friend Tyler, I said I'm going to start recording my stuff, and I said, will you produce it? Because he's in an indie band called Manatees, and they're really good, and I trust Tyler with my whole heart. We have like the same taste completely. So we just kind of sent it back and forth, and like, I'd send him bits, he'd send it back, I'd go like this, don't like that, and that's kind of how that happened. My dad played bass on that, so because he's
nice.
Free. But so that's how that happened, and then the next single, Make a Living, was the same with Tyler. So
yeah. With the first single, how was that release process? So it was post-lockdown, which is already a little bit rocky, but also self-released and self-managed. Yeah. How was that process for you?
Well, it was all really new to me. Like, I'd obviously never done that before. So I'm like every step of the way, like, you know, uploading it to the distributor, all of this. I was like, Tyler, have I done it correctly? So, yeah, no, that was... it was really exciting. I feel like everyone, well, my friends and people like that, everyone was really excited for me, and it just felt really good. And that is probably one of my favourite songs of mine. When I play it live, I do always think, why did I write this? It is so high. I can barely sing it. But New Lover, I do love that song. I think it's a bit of a bop.
Mm-hmm. Did you write that completely on your own? So you worked with Tyler?
I did. I write all my songs on my own.
Oh, and he just produces with you, records?
Yeah, not anymore, but for the first 2 singles he did, yeah.
Do you have a home studio set up?
I don't. I'm not that inclined production-wise. Like, I know the basics, but I don't really have a love for it. I'd rather, like, sit there and tell someone else what I want and hope that they do it.
Well, that's fine. That is fine. You know, there are people who love doing the other side and hate doing the writing side, so you've got to have both sides. But the first song you played for us today was not that song. It was one that I have never heard before.
It's a really old song of mine, actually. I think I wrote it when I was about 15, but it's just one of those that's always stayed in the catalogue. It's weirdly my brother's favourite of all my songs, and which is random, it's very not like him. But yeah, so I told him I'll play that for him, and he was like, all right then.
Wow, I hope he appreciates it, because
he should.
It's just for him. Tell me more about it. So you wrote it a long time ago. Do you remember what it was about, or was it just a theoretical one?
It was a theoretical one. It was about. My mum always says my best songs are the ones that aren't actually about real people. Wow. Yeah.
I don't know if is that a compliment.
I don't know. I feel
what
like
is that?
False people are a bit more exciting. You can make things up. Whereas when you're telling the truth, it's a bit more serious.
Right. So you don't remember writing this one at all?
I do remember writing it, but it wasn't about anyone or anything special. It was just a lie.
I had a dream about you the other day, how you changed my way of living, how you took all I was given. I had a dream about you the other day, how you came and then you left. Yeah, you left me bereft. I had a dream, I had a dream that you wanted me, yeah. I'm wondering if you ever did. You wouldn't have left me in that bed. Do you ever think of me? I don't think so, darling. I just think I was looking for something less than I was wanting. Do you ever think of me? I don't think so, darling. You're just always looking for your next fix or something. And he's gone, and he's never coming back. And with that is that the dream's done. I woke up. I had a dream about you the other day, that you never loved me. Oh wait, that was reality. I had a dream, I had a dream that you had 5 heads. Maybe if that were true, one of them wouldn't like me too. Do you ever think of me? I don't think so, darling. I just think I was looking for something less than I was wanting. Do you ever think of me? I don't think so, darling. You're just always looking for your next fix or something. And he's gone, and he's never coming back. And with that is that the dream's done. I woke up, and he's gone, and it's not gonna hurt 'cause I'm fine. That is the lie I'll tell till I'm well again.
The Alpha Sessions.
And why have you chosen not to release this one if this is a favourite of your brother's? I mean, it must be a special.
I don't know. I feel like because it's quite a chilled, acoustic-y one, and I think I've been trying to kind of direct my music a little bit more upbeat and catchy, I'd say. But it doesn't mean that I'm not to release it later, but it just hasn't happened yet.
At the moment, your path is more upbeat pop.
And I'm a bit fickle. Like, my favourite song is always the most recent one I've written. So when something's been in the back catalogue for a while, I'm a bit like, yeah, over that one, not into that one anymore. But yeah, no, it probably will happen eventually.
Well, I think that's natural though, when you sort of come out with something new and your sound changes. I mean, even if you feel like it sounds like it's in the same sort of genre as your old stuff, to other people they hear it and think like, oh, this is a new little direction. So the song that you just released most recently, I want to talk about that more. Over You, that is quite a bop.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that. And there's a music video for this as well. There is. Tell me about how this one came into being.
So my brother and his girlfriend both work in TV, and I said to them, do you want to do like a little home video? And I was like, but if we're doing a home video, let's like make it a home video rather than it look like really low budget and rubbish. You might as well like actually explore that and make it look like that's on purpose. So he had like an old camera recorder. It happened all like really organically. He had a little camera recorder, and then we like tried to record on that, and it was a bit rubbish. So then we ended up taping my phone like with tape to this camera and like filming the little window, and that's kind of how that happened. And then we did it in different rooms in my house, and every time we'd change a room I'd go, outfit change. And then there's a bit in my car, and there's a clip of my cat, because I don't know, my brother put it in there. I was like, why not, she can be in it. We love her.
Do the visual things come to you quite naturally when you're writing, or are they usually a bit more difficult to get a handle on?
I feel like visually I'm always like very clothes orientated. Like I always, when I think about videos or like photo shoots, it's always the clothes. I love clothes. I love like vintage and secondhand and charity shops and things like that. So it's always like, oh, when I play this, what would I want to wear? So that kind of then transpires into the rest around it. But yeah, so that video was pretty simple. But yeah, no, visually it just kind of, whatever happens. It's never really that planned.
Well, you know, that sometimes is something that happens when you're on the day and you go into it without a concept and you just try something. Like you have a little idea of how to do it, but you don't know what the content is.
It's definitely a bit of trial and error.
Yeah, it all just kind of falls into place. But they're often the best projects, I think, because they're more natural. Like if you're trying to engineer it, it turns out a bit frustrating. But the song itself, where was this one recorded? Do you use a regular studio?
I work with a guy called Ed Denham. I record with him. He has a home studio. So we did that one together. We recorded that with his studio. It's an old song. I wrote it a couple of years ago, but it's always been one of my favourites. So I finally got around to recording it and releasing it. So yeah.
Do you enjoy the studio time?
I do. Ed just works away, and I'll just sit there and go, no, not sure on that one. But no, we work well together, so it's all good. I do enjoy studio time.
And in terms of who you're listening to at the moment, I mean, in terms of this single, actually, when you were recording this, do you often feel like the things you're listening to or the people listening to play into the way you work in the studio as well as in the writing?
I guess so, because in the sense of that I'll be like, I'll listen to elements of those songs and be like, what parts have made this sound like that? That's the most simple way to explain it, but if you know what I mean. So yeah, I do think so. I think at the time because that was written a while ago, but when recording, I got really into Sheryl Crow for a bit, so I think, and old Alanis Morissette and Jagged Little Pill and that album. So I think that's where the grungy element maybe came from. And I thought, right, when recording it, I want it to kind of sound a little bit like that. So I think so, yeah.
I thought we were forever. care I once felt for you. I'm scared to say I'd share my last day with you. Doesn't mean I want you. It was something special, but it's gone. Now I feel like I'll never need anyone. If I got over you, I'll probably get over him too. If I got over you, if I got over you. This is a new beginning, and I'm no longer grinning. And I did want to warn you, but and I do. This is something special. Don't be gone. Now I feel like I may need someone. If I got over him, it's probably 'cause it wasn't working. I hope we do. I hope we do. Na, 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 na. I hope we do. Na, 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 na. I hope we do. Na, 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 na. It was something special, but it's gone. Now I feel like I'll never need anyone. If I got over you, I'll probably get over him too. Did I get over you?
The Alpha Sessions.
Who are you listening to at the moment? What's your top artist?
I can't stop. Oh, so I've been listening to, it's a bit rogue, I've been listening to a lot of LCD Sound System at the moment.
That is right.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, no, my boyfriend's dad loves them.
Oh.
And then he plays it a lot, so I just got into, but you know when you listen to something loads and you kind of just go, actually I kind of like that. So I've been listening to a lot of LCD Sound System, which is kind of random.
Mm-hmm.
Very not me.
And what about your earliest memory of somebody you heard when you were younger and you thought, other than Nelly and Kelly, as inspirations, people that you would cite as your main inspirations?
Oh, McFly.
Yes.
I loved McFly.
Yeah.
I saw them 7 times as a kid.
Oh, okay.
First gig, Wembley Arena, meet and greet. Like, wow. Danny was my favourite.
Yeah, Danny's my favourite.
Was he?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's actually mine, so can you back up?
Right. Yeah, I'll be getting the pen out.
I've got one too. Yeah, no, I remember we had a meet and greet. Someone we knew them, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And we had a meet and greet and Danny picked me up. He had no idea he was my favourite, but like Life Made. And I remember I had like pink Love Heart knickers on. I mean, I was only 5. And it like came out a bit. My mum, I was a bit of a lump. My mum was like, "Don't break his arm. He's got to go on stage in a minute." And I had a little leather jacket on, and he was like, "Nice bit of leather that." And I was like, made my life. So yeah, I loved McFly.
Yeah.
I even think sometimes now, like when I'm writing a song and I'll do like a major to minor, I'm like in a chord, I'm like, so McFly.
That is, me and my brother call that the McFly minor.
Yeah,
if you're playing a song and then you do a little tragic minor.
Yeah.
It's the McFly minor.
Yeah, so McFly.
Yeah, they were actually the first live gig I ever saw.
Really?
In Bournemouth, in the big.
What tour was it? I went to the Wonderland tour.
Oh no, mine was much later. It was the Memory Lane. So it was like 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was, yeah. It was the first proper big show.
I think I went to that tour, but I went to Hammersmith.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good time.
It was a good time. My mum took me to every gig and I used to stand on the chair. And we'd like, if the security guard was coming, my mum would be like, "Get down."
Did you want to be in a band because of them? Or were you always a solo act in your
I
head?
always wanted to be solo. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've been a bit more passive now, but when I was a kid I was a bit bossy. So the idea of anyone telling me what to do probably wasn't very nice. But yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, it was always solo. I loved writing songs and I didn't want anyone else to interfere.
Yeah. I think McFly is actually really underrated influence
I
because their
agree.
catalogue is so huge and the way they write is sometimes really theatrical.
Like them.
Yeah, right? There's some weird chords in there. Sometimes really theatrical, sometimes very grungy rock, sometimes very poppy. It's very broad.
Yeah.
But that also explains the 90s Alanis Morissette sort of going back that way because I think their influences would have been a little bit from that era.
Very like Beach Boysy influenced and things like that, aren't they? Yeah, no.
It's a brilliant time. So in terms of playing live, you do play live regularly. Have you got any gigs upcoming this year?
I haven't. There's a potential when the next single comes out to be a couple of gigs following that. So hopefully that will be out in September. So so potentially in September there'll be some gigs happening. Not any this month or next month at the moment. But yeah.
You mentioned your upcoming single.
Oh yeah, I do.
I'd love to talk about that. The last song you played for us.
I know, special treat. It's never been heard before.
Exclusive. It's an exclusive. I love an exclusive. And now this one, I mean, it's quite interesting. It's called One For Me.
Yeah.
Tell me about how this song happened.
This song is just about unexpectedly meeting someone and just being like, I'd never thought this would happen, but it actually really works, and that you might be the one. As cringy as that is.
It always sounds worse when you say it out loud. Like when you listen to it and you're like, yeah, I get entirely what this is about. But when you just put it into a sentence, it's still a bit like, what am I saying?
It's such a loser.
I mean, I picked up, you don't have to say this, but on an alternate title that you had before.
It was originally called Might Be, because it's like, you might be the one for me. But yeah, I called it Might Be just to wind out my boyfriend.
I love it. Well, you've got to have fun with it. And I thought, this one sounds like it's destined for a full band production. Like when you're playing, I don't know how. Have you recorded it yet?
Yeah, it's done.
It's done.
I can give you a sneak preview after this.
Oh, yeah. None of you get to hear this, so enjoy that. But yeah, when you were playing it, I remember thinking like you can hear. Do you do that when you're playing in your head? You hear the production.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, this is gonna sound so good with a band.
Do you often play with a band, or you always play solo?
It's always me. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think it would actually elevate my music, but I'm a bit apologetic for my existence sometimes. So I feel like if I ask, I'd be like, I don't want to force you to play my rubbish songs.
That was a big statement. Apologetic for my existence.
That was a bit dramatic, wasn't it?
Why is that? Just you feel like you don't want to...
I don't know. I just feel like no one ever wants to play your songs. They just want to play theirs.
No.
You don't agree?
Oh, no. People love playing all sorts of things. And actually, I think my drummer would agree that he said before, when he plays my stuff, he actually enjoys it sometimes more than his band because he doesn't have to think. And he doesn't mean that in a bad way, but they can just enjoy it. Yeah, they don't feel like there's any pressure for their own, like, I'm showing my songs. So actually... I think you'd find a lot of people who love it. Yeah. Yes, you do. But where would you play next if you were to pick any venue, your dream venue for this year? Where would you like to play a gig?
Dream venue for this year? I don't know.
What kind of venues have you played in the past?
I played like Blues Kitchen in Brixton and things like that. I mean, I quite love that venue. I'd be really happy to play there again. It's a really good gig. I played a lot of like the little East London ones and things like that. I don't know, I actually don't have an answer. I know it's not very good.
No, I mean, that is an answer in itself. You're happy to play anywhere.
Yeah.
You just pitch up. Do you busk? Have you ever busked?
I did I remember when I was about 12, I went busking and it was me and my brother's friend. And we do like covers, we do like a bit of Jessie J and Amy Winehouse. And because we used to do it on the South Bank. And tourists, obviously, when you're on holiday and like foreign currencies like Monopoly money, tourists would just walk past and drop 20 quid in. We made like 80 quid in 1 hour once. Yeah, it was brilliant.
The South Bank is quite a coveted slot, I think.
Yeah, it is, but then we got moved along by the South Bank Patrol.
Oh, wow, okay.
There is such thing. There is such thing as the South Bank Patrol. We got moved along. But yeah, no, that was the easiest money I've ever made. But I've never busked since, no.
No, it's not for you. Weather?
I don't know. I know. I don't know if it is.
You just prefer venues.
Yeah.
Good venue. Well, we look forward to seeing you live. I look forward to hearing your singles.
Thank you.
That are coming out this year.
Yeah.
Have we got a date for that, or is it all still...
Not a date. It's still still not fully set. Yeah,
but it is coming.
It is coming. It is coming.
And if people want to find you on social media and anywhere else, where should we look for you?
I'm on all platforms. So on Instagram, that's probably where I'm most active. It's Dea Doyle, and I'm on TikTok and Twitter, and it's like a mixture of music and general life posts and things.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for coming on our
Thank
sessions.
you so much for having me. I've had so much fun.
It's been lovely. See you soon.
See you soon.
Never thought I'd be here when I sat with you and I finished your bit. I sometimes hate the distance, but I know it won't be long. We just need persistence. Oh, I think you might be the one for me. Oh, I think you might be the one for, oh, the one for me. I'm always taking your picture, so it stings less when I miss you. I can't help but slate your accent, but I wouldn't change it, not for 1 second.